What is up with the ancient Greeks and the shit-eating Grin? Let's find out today on Studio 214.
Are you ready? Grab a brush.
Give me a hell! Give me a yeah! Let's paint right now!
Hey team. So these ancient Greek and Minoan sculptures have this weird trend where they have this smug look on their face no matter what is going on around them. To really understand the archaic style, we must first understand the archaic period of Greece, and in particular the Kouros, which is a freestanding statue of a maiden. Basically, the Kouros is a draped female sculpture standing erect with feet together with one foot, usually the left, slightly advanced. The arms are sometimes down at the sides, but in most cases, one is brought up closely across the front of the body or extending, holding an offering. If you know your art, and we here down at the studio tend to think that we do, then you would no doubt recall some other ancient Mesopotamian art, votives actually, that have a similar look to these here Sumerian votive statuary from, 2,400 years earlier. Man, talk about a trend. I like these guys. Their eyes wide, always awake, offering prayers to the gods for their owners. Here they are standing erect with similar postures and functions as the Greeks. But they aren't smiling. They don't have that smug look on their face. But it is coming. Check out this serene mofraggy. He knows he bad. Look at that slight grin. Oh, you like my beard, don't you, bro? Of course you do. Ha! It's copper, baby. This here is an Akkadian ruler from 2250 to 2200 BC. Close, but not quite there. Here is Gudea with another serene look of whatever, 2100 BC. And we talked about Egypt and their influence on the region. If you haven't seen my videos on Nefertiti or ancient Egypt, take a look. A lot of the connections between civilizations is explored in those videos, as well as the influence they all had on each other. Links are in the description. So fast forward a bit to pre-Bronze Age collapse and take a look at this guy. A bronze funerary mask, and perhaps maybe the first example of that crazy grin. Look at this guy. He is grinning like a Sunday fool, but he looks peaceful, smug even. And isn't that the trend? Look forward even farther and look what you got. Look familiar? Wide-eyed, smug grin. It looks like the Minoan and Cycladic arts had a baby, and this was born. Of course, with a Greek twist. Males are nude, cause why not? Circa 700, 680 BC. And now this one looks like Egypt and that Acadia guy had a baby, and forgot to give him pants. Must be cold where he is. 40 years later, in 560 BC, we get this guy. The calf bearer. It is one of the first to employ the archaic smile, and many believe it was a way to communicate that he knows we looked at his dong. That smile is a knowing, smug grin, because he knows we are all chicky monkey D&B lookers. The rough, hard passage of time for this poor bastard took his bits and pieces and left him wrecked. And is that the cow's balls on his shoulder? Getting old is cruel. Now check out this happy bastard, circa 530 BC. You can definitely see the Egyptian influence. But this sassy lad, bereft of his trousers, is without a doubt feeling a breeze. The only thing not stiff and rigid is the only thing that should be. Oh, golly. He is undeniably Greek in origin, though. That Kouros was the male counterpart to the female Kouros. And speaking of... Oh, it's a lady. Hello, Miss Lady. And yep, this slender hip vixen has the archaic smile chiseled on her face. Notice the feet are now together? This nice Miss Lady is from 530 BC. Why is she smiling? Because she is literally wearing 4 garments and some sick wacko still attacked her nipples. But yeah, you guessed it. Females of the archaic period were dressed. Only the males were nude. We won't see female nudes like this first one in Greece until around 350, 340 BC, well into the classical era. And this is actually a Roman copy of a Greek statue. So what's the deal with that archaic smile anyway, bro? I mean, what's going on? That's a good question, and nobody knows. Some posit that it was a way for the artist to show that the sculpture was alive. Just a stoic, idealized representation, but an actual representation of the person. Their art, their gods, their culture was all about the human. They humanized their gods. A trend not seen in the ancient world. Well, that is except in Israel, where the God of Abraham created humans in his image and his angels took human form. It is still unique in the region. And these archaic sculptures open the door for the Greeks and how they start to think about themselves and their gods and how they relate to each other and how they look. And that dang smug grin showed up in some interesting places. Like this silly son of a gun, lounging about, chilling. How you gonna go to battle and forget your pants, man? You know, this is a failure of leadership. His sort should have taken him aside and been all like, right? Do you notice a refreshing breeze betwixt your nethers? And he would have squared him away. It's like he's taunting the guy who just shot him in the heart. Yeah, you killed me, but suck it, big boy. I'm just gonna lay here and show you my balls. And that's one of the last times we see the archaic smile. Interestingly enough, on the other side of the same temple, there were these statues, and the experts believe that they were destroyed and had to be rebuilt. So a decade or so later, we can see a drastic change in how the Greeks did their sculpture. We see this guy. Dramatically different type of statuary. This guy actually looks like, and the viewer can really relate to the intense struggle to stand up and find his pants. He's knocked down in combat, and you can tell he is thinking, son of a Brachus, god of wine, how much did I drink last night? Thank gods I got my shield and helmet. Gone is the grin, along with his loin strap and dignity. I'll turn my face, but not my junk. Drink it in. Lastly, here you can see the earliest examples of the transition from the archaic rules to the classic, with what some scholars think is the most important piece of art in history. The rules that dictated what statues were going to look like come full circle and really ramp up humanizing their subject, whatever it may be. Humans, monsters, the gods, etc. Etc. is the Greek goddess of lists and nagging. Greek sculptors went to great lengths to try to mimic the way humans stand. From the dawn of history to forever to that point in time, all statuary was really concerned with was how stones stand, as an item would be because it's in stone, not how an actual human would stand. Well, no more, my friends. This artist is not concerned with how a stone image would stand. He is concerned with how a human being truly stands when he turns up full Monty to the modeling gig. This evolution of statuary was as revolutionary as it was groundbreaking. Seriously, we're talking 2,000 or 3,000 years of tradition that started with the archaic smile, a Greek twist that opened the door for other possibilities that bucked the trend and influenced art for the rest of human history. In this statue, you can see the first time an artist used a contrapposto weight shift in distribution. It isn't as pronounced as another statuary, but it is without a doubt there, and a clear departure from the archaic tradition and its Egyptian predecessor. You can see the weight shift from one hip to the other with a curving spine, and he breaks the rule of virtually all statuary before and doesn't gonzo the viewer. This one has the damn decency to respect the fourth wall and not let you know that he knows you looked at his package and wonder if it's what yours looked like from that angle. So that's it, guys. The archaic smile. Not known for sure why they did it, but gee golly, they sure did, and it defines the era from 600 BC to 480 BC. It ushers in the Greek classical era, and was where Greece really came into its own. And we could see a real departure from the Oriental influence of the past, to where the Greeks became the ones that influenced others instead of the other way around. What do y'all think of the archaic smile? Pretty cool, huh? I find this kind of stuff really interesting. If you do too, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you like it, so I will know to make more content just like this. Although, I'm probably going to do it anyway, because like I said, I find this stuff fascinating. Thanks for watching, and check out my music channel, would you? It's where all the music I write for these videos gets posted. Studio 214 Music. Links are in the description. As for me, I'm going to the house. For Studio 214, I'm Greg. Thanks for watching.